Here we go again with the late night theatrics from the Department of Justice and NAR. Today it's NAR coming in late. I thought the Department of Justice came in late yesterday, but NAR just responded quickly and said, hold up. And by the way, thank you, Anthony Lamacchia, for sending this to me again. I know we're both working late reporting this to you guys. Let's get right into this. Here's what we've got for you. And yes, this whole thing that I'm going to show you is in the description. Go into the description of YouTube. It's right there. This and probably 2 or 3 other links. This way you can follow along. Here you go. They just filed this National Association of Realtors response to the Statement of Interest of the United States. Now, it's clear from the very beginning, they're saying, NAR saying to the Department of Justice and anyone else reading this, why did you wait so long? Why is this so last minute? Look at this. Right here it says, hey, here are the dates, right? March 15th, March 25th, April 24th, August 17th, October 28th, and yet you object last night? What the heck is going on? And obviously we know, come on, the Department of Justice wants to slip in and be like, hey, we have something to say, hoping that NAR wouldn't have a response, right? Well, they did. Here's their response. Number one is they were angry that they waited so long. Did you expect something else, NAR? I mean, we're playing in the big leagues here. So next, they said their issue, the Department of Justice's issue with paragraph 58.6, they said that, wait a second, the DOJ, you're not reading this right. In fact, and I want to tell you, listening in, we've got this whole thing outlined, paragraph 58. John Riley and Saul Klein and I went over this a few months ago. I'm going to put this into the description of the YouTube channel so you can just read them all. These are the 13. This is paragraph 58, and this one right here is the problem. This is saying, hey, right there, and we're going to go back to it so you can read it with me, right? Let's go. They say, indeed, antitrust division inexplicably provides only a truncated quotation of paragraph 58.6 that obscures its beginning and end. See, and then they'll show you, hey, if you want to watch, go to the video yesterday, watch that section of what the Department of Justice uses. It doesn't use all of the 3 sections there, right? So here's what NAR says, yet the first clause of paragraph 58.6 expressly makes it contingent on all laws and regulations, unless inconsistent with state or federal law or regulation before or during the operation of this paragraph 58.6 of the settlement. Easy, right? Saying, hey, DOJ, this needs to all be in agreement, right? We're not breaking any laws. Here you go. Now here are the 3, A, B, and C, right? And this is just saying that anyone working with a buyer needs to go into some type of written agreement. Here is written agreement before the buyer tours any home with the following. Number 1, disclose the amount or rate of compensation it will receive or how this amount will be determined. Number 2, don't make it open-ended, right? Don't do it. Here's an example if you're wondering what open-ended looks like. It's right there. And then lastly, participants may not receive compensation for brokerage services from any source that exceeds the amount or rate agreed on in the agreement. But you can go down. Remember that. So NAR says, hey, here's all of it. So what's the problem? NAR, I can tell you what the problem is, by the way, because I have the same problem with this. We'll touch on the problem at the end here so you can see. Let's continue this. It's only 3 pages, not very long, right? And so I'm going to read this all to you because this is NAR saying, giving their response exactly. Paragraph 58.6 bears no such resemblance to those condemned practices. Buyers are free to hire brokers or not whenever they want. Buyers who want to engage a broker are free to hire whatever type of broker they want. Paragraph 58.6 just requires that if a buyer wants to work with a broker, the buyer and broker must put their negotiated and agreed upon compensation in writing before the broker brings a buyer to a home. By the way, this is the problem, not the rest of it. There is nothing anti-competitive about that. That's the response that NAR pretty much says. Hey guys, nothing that I see here is anti-competitive, right? And then NAR says these two cases, we're not sure what you wanted to get from them, but they're inaccurate. And then at the end, they say, hey, look, I know you brought up antitrust laws and that you want the judge to approve this or approve it like you suggested in the statement of interest. But we had already said, it's just, it is what it is. You can come after us for anything. It's already out there. So I understand what NAR is saying. I agree with most of it, except for now I highlighted my own. I'm going to show you here just to break it down and give you the good juice. Okay. All right. This is what NAR is saying right now. Their response: the requirement simply ensures compensation terms are clearly expressed in writing before service begins. Buyer remains free. Here's saying, hey, with this anti-competitive stuff, DOJ, stop it. Because the buyer remains free to choose whether to hire a broker, select any type of broker they want, negotiate compensation terms. It's up to the buyer. They can do whatever they want. The Department of Justice says, great, that's awesome. But here's the problem. Because, by the way, they still didn't solve the problem in the response, right? So it's still a problem. They said it prevents buyers from even getting a no obligation showing without first committing to a written agreement. And I know a lot of you are going to say, but isn't that how it's supposed to be? Like before we decide to work together, you're supposed to sign something saying that you're going to work with me. The Department of Justice says no. Because look, barrier to market entry. The Department of Justice implies this creates an unnecessary barrier between the buyer that wants to view homes and their ability to freely choose and evaluate real estate services. They don't want them to sign anything and then have to get out of it. And then here, consumer choice restriction forces consumer into formal agreement before they can even begin the basic process of viewing homes, and limits consumers' ability to test drive. That's the whole thing right there, test drive. They want it to be kind of like cars. Test drive different brokerages or services before committing. And that, in essence, is what it's all about. Look, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you that the Department of Justice has NAR in its sights, and it's not letting go. And as far as this agreement, who knows where it'll end up, but I can tell you that NAR's response today is not sufficient. They could be angry all they want, and it's just life. Anyway, follow me. Sorry, this is late at night for me, and I just kind of put this together, read it through twice really fast. If I missed anything, let me know. Let me know what you think. I love when you guys comment and you tell me, Tristan, did you think about this? What about this? This is what I want, right? So we can talk about it tomorrow, maybe a little more fully, but thank you.